two of my biggest problems was smoking and drinking, and I've dealt with them both. Let me explain how. Yeah, it took me like a year to even realize I was abusing it, if that makes sense. I thought I was just having fun. Yeah, I thought I'm just doing. It's summer, baby. I even named one of my summer. Yeah, I think it was 2016 or 2017. What I named it, I gave it a name. I gave the summer a name. I called it Nitty Summer, where I was gonna dedicate myself to smoking as much as I can and getting as high as I can and just being in a zone. I was kind of in my hippie days, yeah. So I wasn't even thinking of it as abusing. I just thought I'm just doing me. I'm having fun. I'm not hurting nobody. I ain't hurting nobody. So why can't I do what I do? So it took me even a year to even realize I was abusing it, because I started to see the negative impacts. Because when I was smoking too much, yeah, I was getting super lazy. I was getting so complacent with where I am in life, and I was flopping everything else. Academically, I was falling off. Do you know what I mean? Like, just so many things. And creatively, I was falling off. And that creatively, yeah, that's one thing that really hurts me, bro. It really hurts me because I've been creating contents for years now. You might not even, you won't see the content I've made when I was super young, but I've been making videos on my phone since I was young, and I've made content years ago, maybe even since I was like maybe over 10 years now. I've been making content for a time, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. You know what I mean? Expressing myself and making contents that I think that are valuable to people. And when I don't do it, when weed holds me back from doing it because it makes me lazy and complacent and unmotivated, when I stop doing that, yeah, I become depressed, and I will end up in a loop. So I'll be in this loop where, okay, I'm depressed that I'm not making content, so I'll smoke and forget about it. This is one of the things about weed, yeah. You smoke it, you forget your problems. So you use it, and it becomes a loop. I get depressed, I smoke, I forget about the problem, and then when I sober up, I remember the problem, I get depressed, so now I need to smoke again. So I realized I was in this fucking loop, and I started to see it. I saw like a vision of myself. Yeah, if I keep going down this road, I'm gonna be a bum. I'm not gonna make anything of myself. My potential is gonna be wasted. And all my life, yeah, people have told me that I've got potential, and I know that I've got potential. But if I don't stop what I'm doing, I'm gonna be fucked. So once I realized that, yeah, I started to cut it down. I started to cut down smoking, and it took me so many attempts. It took me years. So I just want to make it clear, yeah, that any sort of excessiveness that you have, anything that you're abusing right now, anything that we're abusing right now, yeah, it won't stop overnight. It won't stop overnight. And if you have that expectation, you're gonna set yourself up for failure. That's why, yeah, I'm not surprised when people track back. People have come to me, yeah, my friends or whatever, be like, yeah, I stopped a couple of months, but now I'm doing it again. And I'm just like, bro, like, it happens, because I realized it myself. I'll make progress, and I'll track back, and it feels like you're going back to square one, but you haven't, because you've made that first step. Do you understand? Because once you've made that first step, you know you can do it again. And the more you do it, the more you try to cut down, the more you try to be better, yeah, the more you want to cut down, the more you see the problem, the more awareness you have of such problem, and the clearer the vision of yourself, the negative impact, yeah. If you can imagine yourself in 5 years with this habit being continued, with this bad habit being continued, if you could see yourself more clearly, I promise you, you'd be put off, bro. You'd be put off. And you'd be like, bro, like, I can't do this no more. Do you understand? And that was the problem that I had when I was abusing it. I didn't see it. I didn't have the vision. I couldn't see I just thought I was just having fun. I thought I was just doing me. Do you know what I mean? I thought I was just having fun. I'm not hurting nobody. I only started wanting to improve. I only had that desire to improve when I saw what it was doing to me, how it made me depressed, and how it stopped me from being creative. And that's the one thing in life that I really enjoy. I got to do things for a living that I don't particularly enjoy. There's things in me that I want to express. There's thoughts, there's feelings, things in me that I want to express via writing or via video or via, do you know what I mean? Like, I want to express, and if I don't express it, yeah, I don't feel good about it. So it took me years, man. I think it took me like 3 to 5, more, maybe more than that, 3 to 5 years for me to cut down to a level where I'm happy. Like, I'm detached. I've got to level, me and weed, yeah, we're not together no more. Nah, we ain't in a relationship no more. I might see her every now and then. We might have a little bit of fun together. But I ain't with you like that no more, baby. Nah, we ain't together no more. So don't look at me like I owe you anything, because I don't. So now, the moment that I am happy with weed, like, I'm not against it. I'm not against it, because I realize as well, it's like when you're against something, it's even harder to detach yourself from it. It's more about realizing, it's more about cutting that connection. You know what I mean? It's more about detaching yourself so you're not connected to it and you don't rely on it. You can have fun with it, you can enjoy it, but you're not dependent on it. You know what I mean? Like, weed, yeah, it has positive benefits as well. You can't neglect that. It helps people, like, with their anxiety, and it helps them, like, with their stress. Yeah, so it's understandable that people do it sometimes, because we all need to cope. We all need to cope one way or the other. So you don't even know how many lives that we could have saved. You don't know. Many people wants to kill themselves, and weed helps them. Yeah, but I need to understand myself, and you need to understand yourself as well. Like, as a human being, if we have ambitions, yeah, if we have certain things that we want to do, we got to look at our lives and see what's holding us back. Yeah, no matter how small, if you got to sacrifice, If you don't, you're not gonna be able to progress. And weed for me was one of the things that was holding me back massively. I was never gonna meet my potential or grow if I continue to smoke regularly. So I need to detach myself from that ASAP. And let's talk about alcohol, okay? Alcohol, alcohol, yeah, it wasn't bad as weed. Alcohol was, I wasn't doing it regularly. I wasn't doing it daily, weekly. But when there is an event, when there is a party, yeah, I go ham. I abuse it quickly. And let me just give you an example, yeah. Last year, I was at a party around this time, yeah, house party. I was the first one to be X'd out. I was done. I think I was like 2 hours or even an hour into the motive, yeah, and this event was gonna last throughout the night. So it started maybe 6 and I was done by 8. Do you know how embarrassing that is? I got so fucked that I couldn't do nothing. And the thing is, I was conscious as well. I was awake, but I couldn't move. So I was throwing up. They laid me down, and I was chilling. And then I just felt shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I had fun. I had fun for like an hour. I was like a social butterfly, talking, laughing, dancing with everyone. Shots here, shots there. Couple moves, you know what I mean? But then it deaded off because I couldn't control myself. I couldn't put a limitation on how much I was drinking, and I couldn't pace myself. Because let's say this is a 6 hour window, yeah, that I have to enjoy myself. And this is kind of like a metaphor for life as well. Your life is this window, yeah. And if you can't control yourself, if you go too hard, you're gonna be out and you're gonna waste all this window that you could have to enjoy, you know what I mean? And it all originates from like my insecurity. And I think a lot of us have this insecurity as well, is that when I first started drinking, yeah, I did it because it gave me more confidence, because I was quite introverted. Yeah, and when I was drinking, it gave me this confidence that I had when I was younger. Like when I was a kid, maybe around, up until about 10, 11, I was super confident. I could be myself around anyone. I could talk, smile, laugh with anyone. I could be myself and not that I don't give a fuck, but I could have been myself regardless of the situation or who I'm talking to. But as I got older, as I got into school, I learned to, you know what I mean, to like fall into like a little, little blanket and just kind of hide myself a little bit. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that when I was going out on events and I was meeting new people, you know what I mean? I couldn't be introverted and just be a weirdo and just chill by himself or only talk to the people that I know. You know what I mean? That's weird. Like, what's the point of going out then? And you need to socialize. We're social animals. Whether you like it or not, whether people claim how much they hate interacting with others or not, it's part of our life. Like, we need to interact with people. You need to interact with make connections with people. You need to, you know what I mean? You need to have relationships with people because life is hard. You need help. You need help out here, baby. Like, you can't just be by yourself and think you'll be able to make it. So yeah, I use alcohol as my wingman. So when it comes to events, when I was single, I used it to help me talk to girls, or even talk to like people that I want to talk to. Like, just even like making a compliment. Yeah. For example, if I see a guy in like a wavy outfit, yeah, me sober, I wouldn't tell him that because he's a stranger. I don't know him. I'm not gonna be weird and come up to be like, yo, I'm loving your outfit, or yo, I'm feeling your shoes, I'm feeling your crepes, I'm feeling your trim. Yeah. But deep inside, I want to express that. I want to express that, and I couldn't do it when I was sober. So when I was younger, I would drink, because when I was drinking and when I was at a good level, I could say what I wanted to say, and I was good vibes. I'm not the type of people. I'm not the drunk people that, you know, get violent or like get creepy or all of that. Like, I'm fun. Like, I have the old let's not say I'm fun, man. I don't know. I've been told that I'm fun, and I've been told that I'm fun. Yeah. So I saw that people was reacting well to me when I was drunk. I saw that I was successful. You know what I mean? In talking to people. So I was successful. I just kept doing it. So every motive I would need to drink, I would have the urge. I would tell myself that if I don't drink, I'm not gonna have a good time. And that's when I became dependent. And this is when I started to get into the habit of drinking more and pushing more, until the point last year where I pushed myself so much because I was so desperate, yeah, to have fun and interact with people. I was so desperate to be a social butterfly, to have fun with everyone and be that guy that provides the energy, you know what I mean? To be that guy that gives off good energy. I was so desperate for that feeling. I wanted to be that guy that was energetic, that made everyone's night better. I was so desperate to be that guy that I was drinking and drinking and drinking. And before I know it, I was out like a light. Like a light, I was out. So in this past year, I've been working on that, especially when I started to meet people who are able to control themselves. I met a guy, yeah, Izu. I'm sorry for baiting on your name, but he can be sober and he can have fun. He can go out on a club setting. He can be surrounded by people who smoke and drink, and he can still have fun. And when he told me that, I was fucking mind blown. I was like, what? I never knew that. You can do that. You can do that. So I was like, nah, if you can do it, I'm gonna aim for it. I'm gonna strive for it. So that's what I've been working on in the past year. I've been working on like enjoying myself more when I'm sober. I've been working on being uncomfortable when I'm sober. I've made some progress. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm fully confident that when I'm sober now, but I'm certainly more able to be myself when I'm sober. And it's progress. It's just all progress. And the progress was shown 2 days ago when I was at a birthday party, and I was able to hold myself back, and I lasted throughout the whole night. I didn't get fucked. I was just pacing myself. When people told me to drink, I was like, no, I'm calm. I'm gonna pace it. I'm surviving today. For me, today is about surviving. I'm still having fun, and at the motive, I still had fun. I was still able to dance. I was still able to converse with people. Yeah, be myself a bit more without having to drink a lot. So the progress was definitely there. So to anyone who thinks that they can't do it, they can't be themselves without depending on drugs, yeah, I'm telling you now, you can. You just have to practice. It's just a simple act of practice, of doing it over and over and over again until you become more and more and more and more and more comfortable. And it's gonna take time, but it is what it is. Like, we need to cut back. We need to cut back because as a collective, yeah, we're making this planet suffer, yeah. And I'm not saying this planet's gonna blow up or anything, yeah. When I say that, what I mean is that this planet is not going to react well. Mother Nature is not going to react well to our bullshit, to our combustion, to our waste of energy, yeah? Pulling out all the oil from the planet. We don't even know the fucking consequences yet. And putting all this shit in the air. The planet will probably survive longer than us, yeah? But Mother Nature is going to be vexed. So when I say the planet is fucked, I mean we are fucked because this is our home, yeah? If Mother Nature don't like what we're doing, she's going to react badly. There's going to be more floods, more hurricanes, more rain, more storms. And guess what? I can't swim. G. So if there's a flood, some sort of hurricane, Yeah, if there's some sort of water that's above 5'7" and 5'7", any water that goes above that, I'm done, baby. I'm done. So what? I'm dead. I'm dead. I know I'm being dramatic, but it's like it's getting real out here. If you pay attention to the news, a lot of floods are happening. Yeah, and it won't be long before it hit us, and we need to cut down. I can't do everything by myself. I can't do everything by myself, and even though it helps me, I can't do it, man. And we need to also be more understanding of what's happening, like the problem that we're causing as well, because we want to have fun, yeah, because we want to drive more, because we want to look good more, we want to buy more, yeah. The more we buy, the more we consume, the more other people suffer. Like third world countries, people are being exploited for clothes, for, you know what I mean, like petroleum, like oil, like there's war, there's things, so many things happening over commodities, yeah, things that we need. We don't need a lot of food. Like people in a Western society, we don't need a lot of food. We don't need to consume this much. And yeah, at this point, we're just gonna bring more hell to earth. When I say more hell, I mean there's already hell in many places. Like Afghanistan, there's so many places that are already hell. Yeah, and if we don't stop as a collective, we're gonna bring hell to places that we're living in. Right now, where I'm living in London, not much hell happening here. Yeah, there's instances of it, definitely, but not much hell. I'm still calm. I can walk out right now and just be myself and have a nice day. In fact, the sun is shining right now. It's a good day. I'm good. But what about people in other countries? Do you know what I mean? What are people in the factories and that are making clothes for me so I can wear, so I can stunt? Yeah. This is a problem that we need to like look into. Yeah, and we need to study the history of mankind as well. Look at our habit as human beings, man. We've turned so many tools into weapons. So many tools, bro. And my example of using fire is that, do you know what I mean? Fire is meant to be something that help us cook, help us keep warm, doing this and that. But then we start to make things for the sake of killing people, hurting others, ammunition, fire powder, bombs, yeah? Humans has a habits of doing this. We all have a habit of doing it, and that's why we need to be mindful, and we need to do our best to contribute less and take necessities seriously. Now I don't want to be a party people and tell people to just stop, yeah, to stop having fun, stop smoking, stop drinking, stop doing it. But like, what are you doing? Are you dumb? Why are you still buying clothes? Are you dizzy? I'm not gonna go around punching people for smoking, for drinking, for driving. Do you know what I mean? Because I do it as well. But I'm telling you to cut it down slowly. I want to put the idea out there. I want to plant the seed. Like, you don't need like to do this. You don't need to buy all this shit. Yeah, we need to aim to have less and need less as we get older. And this is a true sign of maturity. And I'm saying it because I believe in it. And I know I do sound like a hypocrite because at the same time I'm fighting myself as well because I want more, yeah. Like in the next 20 years, there's many things that I want. Like I want to move to a better location. I want to have a better room. You know what I mean? A more beautiful room, a more beautiful home. And obviously that's me wanting more in the next 20 years. But I also understand that once I've gotten there, I need to control myself. And once I've accomplished these things, I need to control myself. So once I've hit my late 40s or whatever, 50s, 40, 50, once I hit my 50s, I need to start cutting things down. And it's not about buying more. It's more about having the power to buy more, having the skill set, the money to buy more, but not doing it. It's like learning how to fight, right? Like you have the ability to fight. Like as a black belt or whatever, you can beat up a lot of people. That doesn't mean you go around beating up a lot of people. Do you understand? So it's like me, I have that same mindset with like, in terms of ambitions, like I want to be able to buy more. Like I want to get to the level like I can go out and buy a Tesla right now if I want. I can go buy a house right now if I want, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't need it. Unless I really need it, I'm gonna get it. And like obviously I can treat myself, but there's limit. Like we need to have a limit on how much we do these things, because if we don't, we just become like slaves now. We just become out of control. We become slaves to all these big companies that's making money off of us, like all these pharmaceutical companies that relies on our demand for their profit. You know what I mean? They don't care about making people addictive to things like opium. Yeah, they don't care. All these products that these pharmaceutical companies are selling, yeah, all these legal products, yeah, they're super addictive. It's been killing how many people? It's killed people in the US, in Asia, in Vietnam. Like I've had family members, yeah, who has suffered greatly from the wave of opium. Yeah, we're lucky as a generation that we haven't been hit with that wave. Yeah, because in the past generations, there's been cities in my home country, yeah, who's been hit where the opium, yeah, like heroin and all that stuff was pushed into the city, and people who was going through problems, people who had mental issues, people who needed to cope, yeah, like we all do, they had that option. They was pushing to doing that. And with opium, yeah, hey, once you get into that, you're done. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to cut it out. So we're lucky that we're living in a generation, yeah, where the products that are being pushed to us are like weed and alcohol. They're not as bad as opium. They're more mentally addictive. They're more habitually, like it's more habitual than chemically. But back then, and still now in many places, opium was chemically and mentally addictive, and it was even more chemically addictive than mentally. Do you understand? So it was just impossible task to get off of it. And we need to be. That's why we need to learn. Like we need to be stronger. We need to be able to control, man. Be able to control. And even if you give, like I said, even if you give zero fuck about this planet and you don't care about kids, you don't want to have kids, who cares? Fuck them kids. Even if you have the attitude, you're gonna benefit. Yeah, your body's gonna benefit from eating less. You're gonna feel better. Who doesn't want to feel better? Like your bank account is gonna be healthier because now you're more able to control your flow of income. Yeah, a lot of us, we have money, we spend money that we don't really have. Let's be real, because these companies, yeah, PayPal, these banks, they want us to spend more. Yeah, so they have this illusion, give this illusion that they provide like loans and stuff, like, so we can get into debt, we can get the credit debt, so we can buy more. Like anyone can go out right now and finance a car, but can they really afford it? No, probably not. Probably not. Yeah. So we need to understand that we're also being manipulated by the society and other people. There's a lot of pressure happening at the moment. So that's why, yeah, like I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying it's easy for us to cut off X and Y because it's hard. There's so much pressure, like pressure to look good in front of your friends, pressure to have a car. Do you know what I mean? I've been pressured to have a car in many situations. Yeah, and I probably will get a car, but obviously there's this side of me that feels shame, yeah, when I ain't got a car, but my peers, guys my age, are having a car. They're driving good whips around me, or X and Y, and I don't. It's embarrassing. Part of me does feel shame, but because I understand, yeah, the bigger picture, because I see that I've got bills to pay, and I've got to do this, I've got to do that, that I can't afford to do these things. I can't afford to put myself into more credit. Do you know what I mean? I can't afford to work more. I don't want to work more. Like I don't want to sacrifice my time to create content, to make videos, to do things that I love. Yeah, to work an extra day to afford the stuff that to impress people. I also understand that bigger picture, and that's why I'm able to hold myself back. That's why I'm able to like control myself, and I'm getting better control as I get older. You understand? And as I get older, I start to see that many things that brings happiness to you are free. Like we all know this deep inside. I think we all know this deep inside. We just don't want to admit it because we haven't fully experienced it yet. We haven't gone for a walk and just looked at the sky here and look at the sunset and just kind of like forgot everything and just be like, yo, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? We ain't seen a sunrise. Like this, it's free. A lot of these stuff are free. Like I can go outside in an hour or two and enjoy the sunset, and this free, baby. It's here. It's here. Yeah. Relationships with people are free. Having fun with your friend is free. Being by yourself, reading a book, whatever you do, a lot of things are free. You don't really need a lot in order to be happy. And this is when we start to cut back. It's only when you cut back on the things that you have in your life that you see things more clearly. So unless you cut out all this junk here, your vision's always going to be blurred. You don't really see the things that are real, the things that are authentic, the things that really makes you happy without, you know what I mean, making you go into debt, making you feel pressured by people to buy this, buy that, to waste. So control and limitation is definitely need it. And as human beings, like we need to like, I can't stress this enough. Like I don't wanna make it too dramatic, but I do at the same time. I feel like I have. It feels like I'm obligated, like to tell you, to plant this idea into your head that we need to cut back, we need to slow down because we're driving too fast. We're driving too fast, and we're gonna crash, man. We're gonna crash like me last year at a birthday party. And I was drinking too much. I crashed. I couldn't pace myself. I crashed and I died. Basically, that's a metaphor. You could say my night that party here was a metaphor for life. Metaphor for life. If you drive too fast, if you go too hard, you're gonna be fucked. Do you understand? If you rely on products and on drugs and all these things, you're gonna be fucked. You're not really truly being yourself. Do you understand? And like, yeah, man, we need to return to the basics, and learn to control ourselves, man. If you don't govern yourself, no one will help you. In this life, everyone's got their own, all these big companies, yeah, all these, like, society. I'm not blaming anyone, but you know what I mean, the people, no one's gonna help you. Trust me, because we all have their own problems to deal with, and people pressure you without even knowing they're pressuring you. Yeah, a lot of things are happening. Family pressures you into doing shit. Your relationship pressure you into doing shit. Your peers, your friends, there's so much pressure to buy, to consume, to be bigger, yeah, to have more, to carry more weight around your shoulder, just walking around with bare shit, bare things to think about, bare clothes, man, bare shit piling up on your chair, and you gotta battle, this is beef, baby, this is you versus the world, and you gotta put strategy in place. It's like me, for example, yeah, I bought a small closet for a reason. This is my strategy to stop myself from buying too much. That's why, yeah, if you see me in the same fit, in a lot of videos, just not cause I ain't got a lot of clothes. You're gonna see me again and what? I wash my clothes, bro. It's clean, it's good. So I have a collection of clothes, and I just switch them up. I don't go overboard. So these are strategies that you need to put into place. And you need to be aware. You need to be aware as well. Like when things are being piled up. Like if you look around your room, it's a perfect example. If you look at your room, if things are piling up, there's too many things happening. You need to slow down. You need to slow down, baby. You need to calm down. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's so simple here, but we could do so much as a collective and as an individual. Yeah, if we just all cut down less, it helps you, it helps others, it helps everyone. It helps everything. Helps everything. And also I want to say today, thanks for watching. Take care.